How could it have taken place when I've never taken performance-enhancing drugs? How could that have happened?
I feel like Lance Armstrong would be competitive at any goddamn thing he did.
If it can't be any clearer than I've never taken drugs, then incidents like that could never have happened.
Yes or no? Did you ever take banned substances to enhance your cycling performance?
Yes.
The name Lance Armstrong and the Tour de France will forever be synonymous, but their connection is a story of triumph, revival, and ultimately a tragic downfall of one of the greatest cyclists that the world has ever known. While Armstrong's victories were later stripped due to doping, it's undeniable that he played a significant role in the rescue of the Tour from the ashes of one of the darkest chapters of its era, the Fistina Affair 1998. With a strong team led by the charismatic Laurent Jalabert, was caught with a massive stash of banned substances. Team Dr. Willy Voyer, known as the White Witch for his reputation for concocting performance-enhancing cocktails, was apprehended at the French border with a car full of EPO, amphetamines, and growth hormones, all intended to make the riders faster. The news sent shockwaves through the cycling world. Riders staged massive protests, refusing to start stages after there was many teams searched by the police. Images of riders discarding used syringes on the road became a chilling symbol of the sport's descent into doping. Sponsors, fearing association with the scandal, threatened to pull out. Public outrage was immense. The Tour, once a symbol of athletic excellence, was now synonymous with cheating and corruption. Its future hung by a thread. The scandal's impact went beyond tarnishing the Tour's image. The race organizers, ASO, faced immense pressure from various stakeholders. Sponsors, crucial for the Tour's financial viability and livelihood, threatened to withdraw their support. Broadcasters, worried about plummeting ratings in the face of public disgust, withdrew their support, in particularly Germany. French authorities, fearing for the Tour's reputation and potential damage to the country's image, called for a swift and decisive action. Cancellation of the Tour was a real possibility, a drastic measure that would have sent shockwaves through the entire cycling world and could have collapsed the sport entirely. With the Tour de France facing an existential crisis, the 1999 edition entered the scene, and it was high stakes. A relatively unknown American named Lance Armstrong, most renowned for winning the World Championships at a very young age in Norway in 1993, but he had also been a covetous rider in the past, but was dropped by the team when he unfortunately was diagnosed with cancer. Despite that, Armstrong showed resilience and became a cancer survivor with a captivating narrative of overcoming adversity emerged, and in the 1999 Tour de France he came back to the Tour and won the opening stage and ultimately was the winner of the whole edition. His story of battling back from a life-threatening illness resonated with the audiences worldwide, transcending the boundaries of the sport. Armstrong wasn't just a winner, he was a symbol of hope and resilience in the face of immense personal struggle. He offered a much needed counterpoint to the cynicism and negativity surrounding the sport following the Fistina Affair. Armstrong's win wasn't just a feel-good story. His aggressive racing style, coupled with his charisma, made him a captivating champion. Television viewership soared as fans were drawn back to the drama of the race. New markets of America also entered the scenes. Sponsors, cautiously optimistic about Armstrong's clean image, began returning to the fold. The Tour, while reeling from the Fistina scandal, started to regain its footing once more, and people started to believe. Armstrong's dominance continued for an unprecedented 7 years, further solidifying the Tour's position as a global sporting spectacle. This was a champion who wasn't just a cyclist, he was a friend of the President of the USA and a very big powerhouse as well. He became not just a powerhouse on the bike, but also a marketing powerhouse, drawing new audiences and propelling the Tour to the heights of popularity never seen before. Major corporations saw Armstrong as the perfect ambassador, leading an influx of sponsorship deals, with brands such as Nike, Trek and Oakley among others invested heavily into the sport, not just in Armstrong but in the Tour itself, ensuring a robust financial foundation for the race. This newfound financial stability allowed for the Tour de France to expand its reach and enhance its production quality, making the event more appealing to a global audience. Armstrong's success also opened the American market to cycling in an unprecedented way. He's often said that he was a man who put 1 million American bums on cycling seats during his successes. The USA, traditionally more focused on sports like baseball, American football and basketball, suddenly had a new hero in Armstrong and a new event to follow in the Tour de France. Coverage of the race increased on American networks and cycling saw a surge in popularity stateside, with more amateur cyclists taking to the roads and an increase in bike sales and cycling related activities. In the mid-90s, cycling wasn't considered cool, especially not in the US. For many, this was still not the pinnacle of athleticism. That was more track and field, football and basketball. These sports were played and admired as the pinnacle of physical achievement. Cycling, on the other hand, seemed irrelevant, but when Lance Armstrong and the US Postal Team/Discovery Team began to dominate the sport in 1999, everything changed. Armstrong and his team exhibited a level of aggression and competitiveness that resonated with those who admired such traits. They bullied, they trash-talked, and they dominated the field in a way that made cycling seem tough and cool. Armstrong's influence made cycling accessible and appealing to a broader audience. His success and persona gave permission for many to start cycling. This phenomenon, often referred to as the Lance effect, significantly boosted the sport's popularity over the past 2 decades. Road cycling sales in the US have soared, particularly in high-end bikes. In the mid-90s, spending $2,000 on a bike was rare. Today, it's common to see American amateur cyclists spending upwards to $6,000, $8,000 or even $10,000 on a bike at the start in any Grand Fondo, triathlon or even a charity ride. The enthusiasts now spend thousands in the pursuit of performance gains, and that can all be drawn back to Lance Armstrong. Cycling has also evolved into a powerful networking tool, often dubbed the new boardroom or the new golf. Entrepreneurs and professionals alike use cycling to connect with clients and colleagues, seeing parallels with the sport's demands and entrepreneurial spirit. Successful entrepreneurs often relate to the bootstrapping, sacrificing and never giving up attitude required in both cycling and business. Armstrong embodied these traits, inspiring many to see cycling as a new way to cultivate resilience and perseverance. However, as we know, the story of Lance Armstrong and the Tour de France is also one of deception. Behind the scenes, Armstrong was involved in one of the most sophisticated and well-orchestrated doping schemes in sports history. The facade of a clean and triumphant return masked the reality of the continued substance abuse, manipulation and coercion within the sport. The revelation of his doping when he admitted it in the Oprah interview was certainly one that sent shockwaves through the sport, probably the same magnitudes he sent when he won in 1999 as a cancer survivor, but it also plunged the Tour into controversy and disillusionment. Armstrong's downfall was a significant blow for the sport, but it also served as a catalyst for change. The Tour and the broader cycling community were forced to confront the pervasive issue of doping head-on. Enhancing testing protocols, stricter regulation, and a renewed commitment to clean competition became the new ethos of the sport. The Tour's resilience in the face of repeated scandals underscores its enduring legacy and its ability to evolve. The story of Lance Armstrong of the Tour de France is a cautionary tale. While he undeniably played a role in reviving the Tour after the Fistina Affair and taking it to a new level that cycling has never seen, his doping scheme ultimately tarnished its reputation when that all came out. However, the Tour's resilience and commitment to a level playing field are testaments to its enduring legacy, and Armstrong's narrative serves as a reminder of the dual-edged nature of sports heroism, where the line between triumph and tragedy can be razor thin. Armstrong's influence on the sport and business of cycling is undeniable. Bike shops flourished, and high-end brands like Trek, Specialized, Cannondale and BMC benefited hugely from cycling's emergence into the mainstream fitness world. This widespread adoption led naturally to exercise bikes, spinning classes, and brands like Peloton and Soul Cycle. For many, indoor cycling is now a practical and convenient way to enjoy the physical and mental benefits of cycling. No major shift can ever be traced to one person, and no movement travels a straight line in the mainstream. But when connecting the dots of the cycling industry and the widespread adoption of cycling as a tool to improve health and fitness, Lance Armstrong appears at numerous pivotal points. The next time one hops on a bike, a pause to tip the helmet to Lance might be in order. He meant as much to cycling's rise in popularity as Tiger Woods did to golf, another fact that seems to be forgotten, or at least something that people choose not to admit. But anyways, that's basically it for this video. Make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel here on The Cycling Day, and let me know down below what you think of Lance's impact on the sport. Did he contribute more to the sport than he took away by the guilt admission?